continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.
Welcome back, casual collectors. I'm Stillwolf
and Spider Kid,
and today we're bringing you a review of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Batman.
So we picked him up on Amazon for the price of $19.99, and he's currently available on Big Bad, on Amazon, and Walmart. He is currently sold out, GameStop, Best Buy, and Target. Okay, so now for box detail. As you see in the front, you see a nice view of the figure itself, with an accessory, DC Multiverse, and the name of the movie. Now for the side, we can see Batman and then DC Multiverse. So if we look at the back, we can see this nice little picture of the figure itself. Well, the other figures you can collect from the same movie as well. And you can see Batman and then the McFarlane Toys logo. And if we look at the side again, we can see the movie name with the name Batman, and then the bottom, the Batman. Now, not much at the top, but except for the name and then a little window. Now, for the bottom, it's just a bunch of Lego stuff. So, with all that said, let's get Batman right into business.
Alright, and here we have the Batman out of the package, and just, holy cow, I mean, these McFarlane figures just look so cool. The amount of detail on these figures is just always looking absolutely amazing. Yeah, these McFarlane figures, they never disappoint. I mean, this is a really basic pose that I have him here, and he looks great. Alright, so as always, before we get into the figure, let's go ahead and take a look at all the accessories that come with the Batman. And as you can see here, we have our standard issue McFarlane base plate here. And again, these all look the same. We got the cool little logo here of DC, we got the peg, and that's about it. Moving on here, let's take a look at the card that it comes with. And again, I can't say enough on how much I love the fact that McFarlane includes these cards. It just takes me back to when I was a kid collecting those Marvel comic cards and the DC comic cards. But right away, this looks absolutely amazing. Look at this. Such a cool picture that they've used. And I can't really tell if this is a picture from the movie or if this is just the actual figure itself. I think it might be the figure, but either way, that looks very cool. And let's take a look at the back here. We have a more zoomed in view of the actual figure or the picture on the card. We have the Batman and the data file right here, so if you want to go ahead and read this, go ahead and pause that right now. Other than that, that's about it, but very awesome. Love this stuff. And last but not least, we have an accessory here, the only one that comes with the figure itself, and that is his grapple gun. And this looks pretty cool. This is the back of it, so it has a peg, and most likely this is so that you can peg it onto his belt there. But the detail on this guy looks great. I mean, just take a look at that. Very cool. And a lot of cool detail on it too. And there you have it. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's take a closer look at some of the details on the McFarlane, the Batman. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the head here. Now, this mask turned out very awesome. Looking really good here. You can see his eyes there too. They're kind of looking off to the side there. That looks really cool. Mouth came out good, the nose, skin tone looks great. And we got all these like stitched seams on the mask, and that looks outstanding. Look, you can see it right there in between the nose. You can see it over here. It looks like different stitching, you know? That looks really cool. So it goes up all the way this way here. But that looks really cool on those, on the ears too. Oh man, that definitely looks like somebody made it, you know, like it's not like your very sleek, you know, Batman Begins type of costume, you know. This definitely looks like you just made it. But oh man, it looks cool. Look at those seams back there. That's cool. And then we got this kind of hood thing here, some kind of bat hood, because look, we have ears right here, so that looks like it goes over. Wish they would have gave us an option where we could have actually had it go over. That would have been pretty cool. And now let's go down to the cowl here on the cape. And this looks really cool. I like the way that this came out. This looks awesome. You got all these little wrinkles here. This is a more of your soft rubber plastic right here, and it just kind of rests on top of there. Now, as for the neck area here, you can see part of that hood. We got a little bit of the armor there. Moving over to the chest, this bat logo just looks so sick. Look at that. It's not your traditional bat logo. It just looks like two blades, you know, but man, that works out. That looks good. And then check out the chest, man. You got all these cool armor right here. different plates. This looks cool, and it's definitely made out of a softer plastic, so it's not your harder plastic. Very awesome. And even this bat logo has got more of like a shine to it, versus the armor does have a shine, but it's more like of a matte color. And then you have these sculpted lines here for the different plates. And let's go over to the arms here. We have these shoulder pads, and these shoulder pads look cool. Definitely looks cool. Now, what is kind of weird though is that they're not attached to the shoulder. They're just attached to the arm right here. But I guess it's because you have the cape. That's the way that a cape sits. So when you actually do move the arm, it will let you still move the shoulder blade, so it doesn't get in the way of articulation. So that is really cool. Just kind of odd, I think, but it does look cool. Now, continuing on to the arm here, we have some more cool sculpting here. You can definitely see pins, but that's okay. On the inside of the arm, we got some more sculpting, some more lines. Here we have the forearms right here, and we got these cool, I don't know what these are. They look like darts maybe, but that looks cool. It's got this nice silver paint to them, and you can tell that there's two parts to them right here. You know, that looks cool. Unfortunately, our little bat blade thingies here, these things kind of are bent, but they are softer plastic, so they're not going to snap on you or anything like that. Moving down over here, there's some more cool looking armor. These look like straps to help it lock in. That looks cool. There's the elbow pad there. Let's look at the hands. You can see the hands, these definitely look like gloves. You can see on the knuckles, it looks like it's padded there. And yeah, so the hand is an open hand, and they made it like that so that it looks like he's holding the grapple gun. And to my mistake, earlier I said that this might have been to peg on the belts, but it doesn't look like that's the case. I don't see a peg hole on the belt, so this is exactly what it is for. It's for this peg hole here. You just port it right there. It would have been cool though if you had the option to hang it on the belt. I think that would have been really cool, right? That would have been cool. But either way, you know, it sits there. It looks pretty nice. The one problem with it though is that once you do take the grapple gun out, he just kind of has this open, you know, hand kind of thing. You know, this whole slap hand kind of look to it. Moving on to the other side of the arm, you know, same thing, not much difference here. The only thing is that we do get an open hand. I think this should have been more of a fisted hand. I think they should have came with fisted hands. Again, I think that, you know, fisted hands are a standard issue. They should at least be a standard issue. Let's go down to the belt. This belt looks absolutely amazing. I mean, check all these cool little gadgets, these pouches. Oh man, that looks cool. You can even see like the individual threading of that belt. These look like handgun ammo pouches right here. More pouches all the way to the back. There's the bat butt. Even back here we have also some sculpting lines for the armor. For his waist area here, more sculpted lines. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the cape. Look at all those cool lines on the cape. That looks great. Not your traditional, you know, wavy bat pattern, but it still looks cool. And this is made of a soft plastic as well. You know, I feel like this might be the softest plastic that they've used so far in the case. I could be wrong though. It just feels nice and soft. So definitely it will not get in the way of articulation. Back to the front here. Let's go down to the back crotch. Not much to see there. And no offense to Robert Pattinson, but you know, down to the thigh area here, looks like we have more armor. And as you can see, this looks like he's kind of wearing tights maybe. And then he has these armor plating or pads on top of it, which are strapped in by this cool strap here. It goes all the way around. There's the knees right here. We definitely have some kind of padding on the knees. Here's the boots. And those look cool. We can actually see the shoelaces on the boots. And we also, oh nope, there's no tread on the bottom there, but we do have peg holes. There's a side view. Here's the back. Take a look at the back of the thighs and the legs. That looks cool. And on the opposite leg, there was no straps, but it still looks pretty cool. And those are all the details for the Batman. Alright, so for articulation, he can turn his head all the way completely around, and he can look up to about that much. He can look down that much, and he can tilt his head just a little bit here to the side. There you go. And to the other side. And he also has a little bit of that pile driver motion. Moving down to the arms here, the arms can turn a complete 360. And again, this shoulder pad does not get in the way, so that's good. and his arms can be moved up to about that much. And as you can see, that shoulder blade's just gonna, or that shoulder pad's just gonna look a little weird there because it's kind of sticking out, and that's only because it's making contact with the cape right here. But that's still pretty good, pretty good. We also have a bicep swivel here, and we do have double jointed elbows that do go into about that much, and that is absolutely amazing. I mean, he can pretty much touch his face. Look at that. So that's really cool. Moving down to the wrist area here, his hands can turn and swivel just like that, and they are on a hinge, as you can see, so they can go up about that much, and they can go about down about that much. He does have some slight butterfly joints there, as you can see, with these shoulder joints there. So let's see how far he can reach inwards. He can reach in about that much. Down to the chest here, he can do an ab crunch, and he can go down about, actually he can't go down very much at all. This is as far as he's going to do an ab crunch, so that's not much. But he can crunch backwards about that much. He can go side to side here, he can tilt, and he can turn here at the chest area, and you can also turn at the waist area here, as you can see. So moving down to the legs here on articulation, he can kick out about that much there, and he can kick back about that much. And as usual with McFarlane, there is no upper thigh cut, but they can still swivel just a bit, as you can see here. Now for the knees here, he does have double jointed knees, as you can see there, and that goes pretty far back. That literally almost touches the bat butt there. Now unfortunately, I'm having issues with this side here. It seems like the double joint here isn't wanting to bend right here, and I don't know if it's because there's extra plastic right in here, or if I just gotta heat this guy up, so I'm not even gonna try. But moving farther down, let's go down to the calf area here. As we can see, there is a boot swivel, and moving down to the feet, we do get toe articulation, as you can see there. And we also have ankle pivot, and his foot can actually go up about that much there, and it gets hindered with this little part right here of the boot, and it can go down about that far down. Alright, and that wraps it up for articulation. Alright, and Batman stands here a little bit under the 7.5 mark if you count the top of the ears there. For a size comparison, here we have the Batman next to the McFarlane Robin. And for another comparison, here we have the Batman with the McFarlane Superman, and he is looking a little short, or just about the same height. And for another comparison, here we have the Batman next to the McFarlane Arkham Asylum Joker. And for our last comparison here, we have the Batman next to the All-Father Batman. Alright, so final thoughts on the Batman. Right away, yeah, really cool figure. Definitely looks like Robert Pattinson, I think. Looks good. Looks like the one from the movie, at least from what I've seen. A really awesome figure. I love the articulation on the figure as well. He's definitely a really detailed figure. I mean, he's got a lot of intricate detail on him. That belt looks amazing. The chest looks amazing with the symbol and the armor plating. Really, really cool. I mean, it's definitely what McFarlane delivers, He delivers things that look absolutely amazing. I mean, just look at him right here in this pose. This is a really basic pose, but he just looks cool. So definitely a really cool figure. I wish, though, they would have gave us more accessories. I mean, for them to have given us just the grapple gun, I really kind of feel like they could have given us more, at least given us another fisted hand to replace that open hand, and then maybe a peg hole on the belt or something so that we can store the grapple gun when we're not using it on display, So I think those would have been great things to add, if not just more hands, give us 2 sets of fisted hands. But I just feel that would have been a lot better if they would have just gave us those little bit of extra accessories. Maybe even given us an accessory to port into the actual grapple gun to make it look like he actually shot a grappling hook out of it or something, I think that would have been cool, but no, we didn't get any of that. So I do feel that they kind of, went on the cheap side and didn't give us enough of the accessories, but at least we got a really cool looking figure that's really well articulated.
So I think the figure is really nice. As Wolf was saying about details, I like how everything, it shows so much detail. It's stitched. That he actually made this himself. Probably Alfred helped them with it. And I like how every little piece has no justice. I just really love how all the paint just combines all together. All the separate armor pieces just join up really well. There's gaps in between it, but you could tell. And I think it's so cool. But only complaint I have about it is that I just don't like how the shoulder pads are connected to the arms. I mean, obviously, yeah, so the figure can move freely and all that. But then, I see in this pose right here, it doesn't really look right. Because the shoulder pad kind of goes, like, in the cape. I feel like the cape should have been a more, like, softer plastic. At least not just give us a cloth cape, to be honest. But I think over than that, I think it's a pretty good figure. The articulation is okay. I do like how his face, specifically with the eyes, I like how it's in a different direction, so it's not every single other figure.
Alright, it's that time again, folks, for our rating. And as always, you can see that rating there on the left. And I'm going to go ahead and have to give this guy a rating of...
Alright, and I'm gonna give this guy a rating of...
And that's going to do it for our review on the DC Multiverse McFarlane Batman from the movie The Batman. I'm Steel Wolf.
And Spider Kid.
Continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.